Hi everyone, I hope you had a good week. I'm going to try to keep this video relatively short because I've given you quite a few links to take a look at. I've been starting out this class really trying to focus on the idea of music as an art form about time, the way that music interacts with our perception of our experience of time. And so I've been really focused on percussion. So last week we talked about the North Indian uh, uh, classical music and the tabla in particular. And I've been really looking at drums, types of drums. I've given you a couple of links that are related to drums in other cultures. The first one is a short video about the djembe, which is a drum that originates from West Africa, although it is prominent now kind of throughout the world. And in fact, at Augsburg, we have a bunch of djembes in the first floor of the music building. And then I've given you a link about Native American drumming, where a drummer sort of articulates the role of the shaman drum in particular within multiple Native American cultures, although again, it is not universal to Native American culture. A short video on the talking drum, and then a longer documentary about Native American powwow. And that is going to play directly into the forum for this week. I've also given you a link to a video about Frances Densmore, who was an ethnomusicologist. I mean, we now, I think of her as an ethnomusicologist, but she came before that term was really a thing, who documented Native American musical traditions and has a complicated history, I guess. And I think it's useful to think about the role of, in this case, a white woman trying to document Native American culture and the extent to which what she did preserved the some cultural history, and to what extent she was manipulating cultural history. I'm giving that to you because I think it's useful for a critical perspective on the concept of ethnomusicology as a discipline. The Planet Drum, it was well, I guess is a project uniting drummers from around the world. And so I want you to take a look at that idea. And I've given you also, there's a video here, but then also I've given you a link to the about page of their website so you can kind of see what they're about. So then I want you to engage with the forum. And I put the forums together because maybe that's going to be an easier way to kind of keep things organized in the class. But the first question is thinking about the documentary about the Native American powwow. Describe the role of music and dance in generating and supporting community and identity. There are a lot of participants in this documentary, a lot of interviews, and collectively, what kind of conclusions can you draw from the experiences that people describe? And then I want you to think, like, I guess more broadly about the various drumming traditions. So I've given you several now. The tabla from South Asia, the djembe and the talking drum from Africa, and the shaman drum from North America, and other drums that will show up in the Planet Drum song. How do they communicate? And what are they communicating? And to whom? That might seem like a kind of an abstract question, but I think it's a really important question because drumming is central to so many different cultural traditions, and I've just given you a little sampling of some of them here. But I could go to any other location on the planet and find a drum. What do drums communicate? How do they communicate it? And how does that maybe contribute to community cohesion? So that is your task for this week. An additional task would be to be thinking about your the event that you'll go to for your event report, as well as continuing to think about what you might write your final project on. I'm going to keep over the next few weeks, I'm going to be giving you more and more like little snippets of musical traditions from around the world. If things seem particularly interesting to you, that might be your research project. So just be kind of keeping note, thinking about that, thinking about the long term. A lot of this stuff is not due until the end of the semester, but you should be kind of working on them and thinking about them now. That also includes the music journal. You should be keeping a file. It could be a Google Doc or it could be a Word file or whatever, where you are just at least once a week documenting some experience that you had with music, how it affected how you went about your day that day, or some, if it interfered with how you were going about your day. You're going to turn that in at the end of the semester. This is the music in the world journal. I might actually ask to see them around midterm just to make sure that everyone's on track. But that's a long term project that you're going to do over the course of the semester. I want you to be keeping that journal at least weekly. It'd be great if you could do it daily, but at least weekly, that you'll then turn in at the end of the semester. All right, so I'm talking too much already. Um, Go dig into the links I've given you, and then participate in the forum. And I will check in as we go along the week. Okay, thanks. Bye.